Have you ever walked into a room and wondered, what's that smell? Maybe it's coming from you. I know, it's not something anyone likes to think about, but it's time to face the truth. As we age, our bodies go through changes, and one of the most common, and often embarrassing, issues is what doctors refer to as old person smell. But here's the thing. It's not just about aging. It's about the places we often forget to clean, the spots we neglect in our daily routines, and those hidden areas of our body and home that accumulate odor over time. So, why should you stick with me for the next few minutes? This video is packed with simple but powerful tips to keep you feeling and smelling fresh, no matter your age. I'm going to reveal 6 forgotten areas, things we rarely think about, that could be causing unwanted smells, and how to take care of them. By the end of this video, you'll be armed with practical knowledge to not only freshen up your body but also transform your environment. You don't have to accept these changes as just part of getting older. No one wants to walk into a room and have someone wrinkle their nose. So stay tuned till the end, and let me show you how to avoid these embarrassing odors with easy, everyday fixes. Trust me, you won't want to miss number 6. I was shocked when I learned about it, and I know you will be too. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get started. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. Behind your ears and neck folds. Let me tell you something personal, something I'll never forget. It all started with a simple, innocent moment, a Sunday morning after church. My sweet granddaughter, bless her heart, came over to give me one of those big, warm hugs that only children can give. But then, out of nowhere, she wrinkled her nose, just the smallest gesture, barely noticeable. At first, I thought it was nothing, but the look on her face made me wonder. I asked her, "Sweetheart, is something wrong?" And with all the brutal honesty that only a 9-year-old could muster, she said, "Grandma, your neck smells kinda funny." Well, let me tell you, that moment hit me like a ton of bricks. I felt my heart skip a beat. I nearly dropped my purse right there in front of the church. How had I not noticed this? Was I that unaware of myself? I rushed straight to the bathroom mirror, my hands shaking just a little. My makeup was fresh, and my blouse was clean, but as I turned my head, I could feel it, this sticky, uncomfortable sensation right behind my ears and at the nape of my neck. It was a feeling I hadn't noticed before, but now that it was brought to my attention, it was all I could focus on. Of course, the first thing I did was pull out my smartphone, like any self-respecting curious old lady would do these days. I Googled it, searching desperately for answers. And to my surprise, I found out there's science behind this. As we get older, our skin changes. It starts producing fatty acids, like tuna, that cling to the areas where sweat and oil glands are most active. You know, the spots where things like our necks, behind our ears, and even the back of our heads get a little extra attention. And when you combine those oils with the occasional forgotten scrub, the perfume residue, or even the natural oils left from hair products, well, you end up with that faint, sour smell we all dread as we age. But let's be honest for a second. We wash our faces. We wipe them down with toner and maybe apply a little moisturizer. But how many of us think to clean the spots behind our ears? Not just a quick rinse, but I'm talking about giving it the kind of love and care it deserves. Gentle, circular motions with a warm cloth, some mild soap, and just a little extra attention. And the back of your neck, especially if you've got long hair or wear scarves, shawls, or even wigs. That spot can trap heat and moisture like nobody's business. I'm one of those people who tends to sweat more at night, so that area gets even more neglected. That's why, these days, I've set up a little reminder for myself. It's right there in my mirror, staring me in the face every day. Don't forget the back. And let me tell you, ever since I started taking that extra step, my whole outlook has changed. I feel fresher. I smell better. There's this subtle but real difference in how I carry myself now. It's amazing how something as simple as paying attention to the back of your neck can transform your confidence. And you know what? My granddaughter hasn't wrinkled her nose since that day. That small change, that simple little act of self-care, has made all the difference. I think it's a reminder for all of us. We may not always notice the small things, but they can have a huge impact on how we feel and how others perceive us. So, take it from me, don't forget the back. It's a small effort that truly makes a big difference. 2. Underneath the breasts. Alright, let's dive into a little real talk here, ladies. We've all laughed about it at some point, right? How the girls used to sit up high, full of perk, and now, well, now they seem to play peekaboo with our waistband. Oh, gravity, the inevitable force that comes for us all. And as time goes on, as our bodies change and adjust to life, those same breasts begin to shift down south, creating that dreaded little pocket underneath, where skin rubs against skin. It's warm, it's dark, and, let's be honest, it's a bit sweaty. Sure, it's not the most glamorous thing to admit, but I'm here to say it's the truth, and it's something most of us deal with in one form or another. But what makes it even more uncomfortable, and honestly a bit frustrating, is that we don't always feel it. Especially when we're in a bra all day or layered up in the colder months. That moisture, that unwelcome dampness, it gets trapped, and where there's moisture, there's bacteria. And when there's bacteria, well, let's just say that no expensive perfume in the world, not even Chanel No. 5, is going to save the day. Doctors call this the inner trio, a name that's all too fitting. It's when skin folds rub together, creating irritation, fungus, and yes, that oh-so-embarrassing odor. It's a reality many older women face, especially those of us who are fuller in the chest. But let's not kid ourselves into thinking this is an issue only for women with larger busts. Even those with a smaller chest can experience hidden dampness, especially in hotter climates. It's not picky about size, it's just a fact of life. Now, let me share what I do to keep this under control, because I promise you, it's made a world of difference for me. First, when I'm in the shower, I make sure to gently lift and clean under my breasts with a soft washcloth and unscented soap. I take my time and ensure that I dry thoroughly, and I mean thoroughly. Afterward, I use a little cornstarch or natural powder to keep things fresh. On particularly humid days, I'll tuck a clean cotton pad or a folded tissue underneath for extra absorbency. It's an old trick I picked up from my ballroom dancing days, and it works wonders. And you know what? I've shared this little routine with so many women, and you wouldn't believe how many of them have said, "Oh, my stars, I thought I was the only one." Well, let me tell you, sweetheart, it's not just you. Far from it. And here's the real key. You've got to stay one step ahead of it. Because let me tell you, nothing, not even wrinkles, ages a woman faster than a sour smell and a damp blouse. We deserve better, don't we? Let's take charge and keep things fresh. 3. The inside of your shoes. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Let me ask you something that might make you cringe a little. When was the last time you dared to smell the inside of your shoes? I know, it's not exactly something we like to think about, but bear with me. Most of us have that one pair of slip-ons, sneakers, or comfy flats that we wear day in and day out. We pay attention to the outside, don't we? We wipe off the dirt and give them a nice little polish now and then, but the inside? We just pretend it's not even there. I learned the hard way just how much we tend to neglect our shoes. A few years ago, I was battling a persistent foot odor, and I finally decided to see my podiatrist about it. I had my go-to orthopedic Mary Jane's, my absolute favorite, ready for him to admire. Instead, he looked at them, then looked at me and said, "These are the problem." Let me tell you, I was mortified. I thought I was being so diligent in caring for my shoes, and yet, they were the source of my troubles. But the way he said it wasn't with judgment. No, it was with a sense of education. He wasn't pointing fingers. He was just helping me understand a basic truth. Our feet are among the sweatiest parts of our body. I had no idea that each foot houses over 250,000 sweat glands. 250,000. That's a lot of sweat, and it all has to go somewhere. Unfortunately, it tends to seep into your insoles, where it doesn't magically vanish. Instead, it stays, it dries, and then it mixes with dead skin cells. The result? Shoes that can smell like they've been marinating in a swamp, even if you just wore them to grab the mail. Honestly, it's a wake-up call. So, what can you do about it? I'll tell you what I do now, and I promise it works wonders. First, sprinkle a spoonful of baking soda inside each shoe before you go to bed. Let it sit overnight. It might sound too simple, but it's like magic. In the morning, just dump it out, and you'll be surprised at how much odor and moisture it absorbs. Another tip: wash or replace your insoles regularly. A lot of people don't realize that you can actually remove them, soak them in warm soapy water, and then let them air dry. It's so easy, but it makes a huge difference. And don't forget to rotate your shoes. Give each pair a day to breathe between wears. They need it. If you can, leave them in a sunny spot to dry out. The sun is like nature's deodorizer. If you wear leather shoes, I highly recommend getting activated charcoal inserts. They're affordable, and they work wonders in keeping your shoes fresh. You can find them online or in most pharmacies. Here's the thing. No one wants to bend down to pick up a can of soup at the store, only to have a suspicious, unpleasant odor waft up from their own shoes. It's embarrassing, and it's avoidable. By keeping your feet fresh and your shoes clean, you'll walk into any room with confidence, without any mysterious odors trailing behind you. Trust me, a little care goes a long way in making sure your shoes, and your feet, are always a step ahead. 4. Upholstered chairs and recliners. Let me take you to a place of comfort. It's the end of a long day. Picture this. You've got your soft, cozy blanket wrapped around you, your favorite recliner cradling you like a warm hug, a cup of soothing chamomile tea in hand, and your feet comfortably propped up. Pure bliss, right? Now, imagine this. You've been doing this exact routine day after day, year after year. You've likely grown so accustomed to it that you don't even give it a second thought. But here's the truth. That beloved seat of yours, where you curl up to relax, read, nap, or watch your afternoon shows, is quietly collecting more than just your comfort. Without realizing it, your natural oils, skin flakes, hair, and body sweat are slowly soaking into the very fabric you lean on. I mean, it's a little unsettling, right? I hate to break it to you, but did you know that some studies show the average recliner cushion can hold more skin particles than your mattress? Yes, seriously, more than your mattress. Let that sink in. And here's the twist. As we get older, our sense of smell often becomes less sensitive. It's a natural part of aging. So we might think, oh, my house smells just fine, without noticing those subtle odors creeping in. Until one day, a younger visitor steps and takes a deep breath, and casually says, "It smells like Grandma's house in here." And, let's be honest, that's not always a compliment. It's not a matter of cleanliness. It's about the fact that fabric absorbs everything, even the delicate scents that come with aging skin. But here's the thing. It's okay. Don't feel embarrassed. This is part of life. It's a reminder that you've lived. Still, it's essential to stay proactive and one step ahead. Here's my trick for tackling this. Once a week, I sprinkle a little baking soda over the seat and backrest of my recliner. I let it sit for about an hour, then vacuum it up. It works wonders, neutralizing odors beautifully. Twice a year, I go the extra mile and steam clean my upholstered furniture. Whether you rent a machine or hire someone, it's worth the investment. But here's my favorite little secret. I keep a sachet of lavender and cedar tucked inside the cushion crevice. Not too overpowering, just a subtle, fresh scent. And those microfiber arms on your recliner? They're like magnets for skin oils. I gently clean them with a damp cloth and a tiny drop of mild soap once a week. It's a small step, but it makes all the difference. When your furniture smells clean and inviting, guess what? Your entire home feels more welcoming, too. It's a simple but impactful habit that elevates your space, making it feel fresh, cozy, and truly yours. 5. Your closet. Let's talk about your closet. Yes, the whole thing, the one place where clothes go in, and honestly, they rarely come out. I mean, seriously, do we even remember what half the items in there look like? I call mine the fabric retirement home because once a piece of clothing enters that sacred space, it either lives there for eternity or disappears to the back corner, a forgotten land where time seems to stand still. Here's the thing though, even clean clothes, if left hanging for too long, start to develop a musty smell. That faint, dusty, slightly sour scent that you may not even notice at first, but as soon as you put on your clothes, it's there. You're clean, your clothes look fresh, but that mysterious closet smell? It's clinging to you like an unwanted shadow. So, why does this happen? Well, it's simple. Closets are dark, warm, and closed off. If you live in a humid climate, or if you're like me and don't always open those closet doors as often as you should, moisture starts to build up. Dust collects, and fabrics absorb everything. And don't even get me started on leather shoes or wool jackets. Those items trap odors like they're guarding long-buried secrets. Now, I know this sounds like a big problem, but don't panic. I've got a system. Here's the key. Open those closet doors every few days and let the air flow in, just like a good friend who checks in on you. Your closet needs to breathe. Consider using charcoal odor absorbers or moisture-absorbing products like Damp Rid. I swear by them, keeping one in every corner of my closet. And don't forget to wipe down the shelves and vacuum the floor once a month. You'll be shocked by the amount of lint, dust, and skin particles that pile up in there. But here's the most important advice I can give you. Don't be afraid to let go of old clothes. If it's been years since you wore that floral blouse, you know, the one from your grandson's christening in 2009, it might be time to part ways. I live by a simple rule. If it smells old, it'll make me smell old. And I don't know about you, but I'm not ready for that. So clean it, refresh it, or even bless someone else with it. Trust me, you'll feel lighter, more refreshed, and so much more organized when you do. Plus, you'll be giving your closet and your life a fresh start. 6. Between your toes. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Let's get real for a moment. This one's not glamorous, but it's a game changer for both your health and comfort. We've all been told, wash your feet. But how many of us have been reminded to wash between our toes? And let's be honest, how many people dry between their toes after a shower? It's one of those small details that often gets overlooked. But as we grow older, we start to realize that our skin gets thinner, and our circulation isn't what it used to be. That means our feet are at a higher risk of infections, particularly fungal ones, which can lead to some seriously embarrassing and uncomfortable issues. And let's not sugarcoat it, athlete's foot isn't just a teenage gym class problem. Seniors get it too, often more than we're willing to admit. I remember a friend of mine, let's call her Doris, who was struggling with a persistent, sour, almost cheese-like smell in her living room. At first, she couldn't figure out where it was coming from. She blamed the carpet, her dog, and even her husband. Poor guy, he took the brunt of it. But after a bit of detective work, Doris discovered that the culprit was far more personal than anyone realized. It turned out her feet were the source. Specifically, the small, often forgotten space between the fourth and fifth toes, a perfect breeding ground for dampness and bacteria. She was mortified, of course. Who wouldn't be? But here's the thing, it happens. It's common. We've all been there, and there's no reason to be ashamed. It's part of the aging process, and it's something that can be managed with just a little attention. So, here's what I started doing, and I swear by it now. Every time I shower, I make sure to wash between my toes with a soft washcloth and gentle soap. Afterward, I take the time to sit down and carefully dry each toe with a clean, separate towel. It's a small step that goes a long way in preventing moisture from lingering and causing problems. And on those hot, humid days when our feet tend to sweat more, I use a little foot powder or dab some tea tree oil between my toes. It's natural, it smells fresh, and it fights bacteria. It's like giving your feet a breath of fresh air. I also make sure to wear breathable socks and never put on shoes without washing my feet first. It's just a simple habit, but it can make all the difference. You can be freshly showered, smelling like a spring breeze from head to toe, but if you neglect the tiny spaces between your toes, you're essentially carrying around a hidden odor that creeps into your shoes, carpets, and even your sheets. Feet are the unsung heroes that carry us through life. They deserve a little more care, a little more respect, and yes, a lot more powder. So, what have we learned today? Our feet, often overlooked, need a little more love and attention, especially those tiny spaces between the toes. It's a simple habit, but one that can make a world of difference in preventing discomfort, odors, and even infections. Whether it's drying properly, using natural remedies like tea tree oil, or just making sure you're washing and drying those hard-to-reach spots, every step counts toward healthier, happier feet. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you learned today that you'll be bringing into your daily routine? Drop your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more tips on how to live your best, healthiest life. Your support means a lot, and we're here to keep helping you every step of the way.